Oh, give me a home where the buffaloes roam. Now that don't make sense, not a bit. You show me a home where the buffaloes roam, and I'll show you a home full of shit. What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate, reverse rants, no hate. Now, I want to do a quick video in response of some points that a person was making to me, and because this person wasn't being disrespectful, I'm not going to put on a roasting session, okay? I want to just simply answer these questions and respond to the comments. The person was very respectful, and they just said to me, they said, Aries, they said, I really respect and love what you do. I'm paraphrasing, but they said that, and they said, I just wanted to bring something up that you could elaborate on for me, because I'm hearing so many different things, but I don't really fully know the story. And they're talking about with Deontay Wilder and him firing Mark Breland, but keeping JD's. Okay. So let me respond. And I'm driving right now, and I'm in my neighborhood, so I'm safe. I'm not in the busy avenue. I'm about to pull over anyway in a minute. So, anyway, because I want to respond to this. And I don't have, like, if I had my tablet, I could pull up your name and then I could read it, and, you know, so, but you know who I'm talking to. Let me respond like this. Now, for everybody that's aware, you already know the details, but let me bring this up. First, by saying this, because one of the things you were saying was like, Deontay, from what you understand, he was mad because he wanted to continue to fight. Right. Let me say, I have no problem with the fact that Deontay Wilder wanted to continue to fight. Okay. Nobody's even questioning like the fact that he wanted to continue to fight, because as a fighter, that's what we want to do. Understand, our trainers are not going to think like we are. Okay, I have dynamite in both hands. I have knockout power in either punch I hit you with. Okay, and this is not me just saying this to say it. I'm bragging to being egotistical. No. So anybody who's worked with me know I can get you out of there one shot easy. But at the same time, if I was getting beat the fuck up, had no offense, I couldn't get out the way of anything that was coming at me, and basically I'm just staggering all over the ring. I'm getting dropped with a body shot. I'm pretty much just getting beat up. I could understand the trainer saying, nah. I gotta stop this fight. Okay, so here's what happened. And, you know, it was a lot that the person was asking me. So I commend the fact that any fighter has the heart. I know I wouldn't quit. I know I wouldn't give up. So I can understand that whole, let me go out on my shield. At the same time, now me personally, okay, I wouldn't have fired my trainer for doing what Mark Breland did. Now, the relationship between Deontay and Mark Breland may not even be what they tried to make it seem like in front of a camera, right? Because people thought they were closely knitted. The fact is, Tyson Fury was putting a beating on Deontay Wilder, okay? JD's is the person, that's his head trainer. He's the one who sat in the room. I don't know if you're aware, right? But when these guys are getting their hands wrapped and getting the gloves put on, the purpose of him being in is solely to make sure no shady business goes on. That's the only reason he's there, to make sure there's no funny business, that everything is fair and square. That's why he's there. Mark Breland got fired, okay, for stopping the fight. And my opinion, this whole poison water shit, that was nothing but just something else to throw out there to just throw something else, add another charge to him. Okay, he poisoned my water and he set me up and threw the towel in, as if Mark Breland knew this was going to happen. Okay. But here's the thing. JD's, okay, sat there in that room. He approved those gloves, though. Before that, he approved the gloves. And the story that you're hearing, Okay, I don't know if you watch Fanon or what channel, boxing channel you heard it from. But what happened, okay, what you heard, because I saw Fanon was basically saying that the Athletic State Commission is at fault because they slipped and they didn't take it. They were supposed to make sure that things were fair. And I agree with that. But at the same time, Fanon is not pointing the blame on JD's because, like I said, he's there to make sure. Look, it's like this. If you have kids, right? And let's just say something's going on at your kid's school. And as a parent, you come up there and you know, like you got a lot of parents that volunteer solely because they want to be able to see what's going on. And they want to make sure that their kid is safe. Okay? At different schools, at different daycares, and stuff like that, you know, because of COVID, you know, that's probably less now because school's not even in session now, really. It's all like cyber school. But what I'm getting at, okay, is when you have a concern, you do what you need to do to make sure that the right situations happen. JD's didn't get fired, but he's the one that approved those same gloves that Deontay Wilder is complaining about. Okay, so Deontay Wilder is saying he didn't have padding in the gloves in the first fight. He's also now saying in the second fight that Tyson Fury had an egg weight in his gloves. Well, the gloves were an issue. But at the same time, he had someone from his team. That's who JD's is, okay? And JD's approved those same gloves. So if those gloves was an issue, why is it that JD still has a job? See, so what you're basically hearing, and you're trying to figure out who's telling the truth or what sounds more believable, you're kind of at a crossroads with your understanding, like, okay, but this sounds believable, but this, and I don't know. I'm going to sum it up like this, and I want to move on to something else real quick, but I want to basically give you this. You said, and I'm glad that you said that, you said you saw Deontay Wilder saying to Tyson Fury, okay, by the way, this is a person who only know Deontay Wilder because of 4 letters, okay, a group of people that go by 4 particular letters that have boxing channels. I was talking about the greatest American champion and this and this and that, and okay, listen, Deontay Wilder got beat. The accusations that he made are just accusations. The picture that you saw as well of the glove with the, okay, look like you can see the guy's knuckles and his fingerprints. That's the whole point. That's what JD's was there to make sure that the gloves, everything was okay, so Deontay is in the best possible position to take less punishment, that he's on an even playing field. That's what that's about. But you said you heard Deontay Wilder when he was saying, y'all changing y'all teams. He said the same thing about AJ when AJ lost to Andy Ruiz. About, oh, he got a new trainer coming in. I still got my same team and all this stuff that he was saying, right? He definitely said that. I still got my same team. Okay, so here's the thing. He did say that. And at the same time, right? He bragged about that and threw that at Tyson Fury's face. So that's what you're talking about. Because Tyson Fury had a different trainer. He had Emmanuel Stewart's nephew coming there, right? And his initial trainer, they parted ways. So basically when Deontay Wilder is stating that, you know, I still have my same team, and then all of a sudden you saw him with different people, that's what you're getting at. I got you. Now he's fired Mark Breland. So yeah, he has somebody that he is going to bring in as a new trainer. I heard the name Malik Scott. I don't know how true that is, but let me just tell you this, okay? All the speculation, all the he said, she said, all the hearsay, this thing has gone on for so long, and the fact that Deontay Wilder himself is still talking about it. He just decided to come out last month or this month, or however it went, and finally say something about it. And the fact that he's still making excuses and still playing a victim is ridiculous, okay? Because first off, it took Tyson Fury, the contract expired, and then Tyson Fury mentioned that he had a fight coming up on the 5th, which is being pushed back from what we understand. And then Deontay Wilder is saying that he has a fight coming up January, February, okay? So there's a whole lot of hearsay. Reality is, if that third fight, if it's ever going to happen, okay, the build up to this fight is this is not how you build a fight up. And I know it's confusing because you watch several channels and you don't know what to believe. My whole thing is this, and I'm just basically trying to give you the basis of how of what was what. Not going too deep into the details because it's so much that was said that it's a big mess. Reality is this: you got your ass kicked, you feel cheated, you should have did something about it, and you should have did something about it in the ring, like I already made it known. In the ring, there's no way you're getting punched with a bare knuckle under just a piece of leather, and there's no way you're going to tell me that you didn't know the difference. And he said he was never hurt in the fight. That's what he said. I was never hurt. He never hurt me. None of these accusations were made before for the first fight. They wasn't made in between the first and second fight. It was after he got beat that he started coming up with all this stuff that happened before the first fight and after the second fight. During the second fight, rather. So, what I'll say is this, okay? No matter what channel or other channel you join or however it goes, that's, strictly your choice. But I would suggest that you watch boxing. Hear things from the horse's mouth. Understand what boxing is about. People are talking about dirty politics in boxing. People are talking all this nonsense. It has been politics and dirty things in boxing. Don't get me wrong. What I'm saying is, we're losing sight of the fighters. Get in the ring and fight. You want revenge? Get in there and fight. It's too much of a soap opera right now. And because of social media, everybody's using their platform to come on, and they want to talk about who they want to fight. Oh, I called this person. Now, calling somebody's name saying you want to fight this person is not the same thing as sending the contract over, sending the term sheet over. Hey, I want to get this fight going. This is what we need more of. Not just somebody jumping up in front on their YouTube channel or their Instagram, their Twitter, their Facebook, and saying, I want to fight such and such, and then the fight never happens for whatever reason. People pick and choose. Whichever fighter they like, they're going to say that he's being ducked. The one they don't like, he's the one doing the ducking. Okay. I would suggest you start to watch boxing. I'm not a fan of anybody. I'm just, I love boxing. I love fighting. I love combat, period. So, combat sports and all that. So, that's my thing. Now, there's accusations that was made that Deontay brought no proof about, which was said that he had proof by him and the channels that support him. So, no, there was no proof. And as far as AJ is concerned, well, AJ has a fight with Pulev, and AJ's training, which is what I want to get into. So, I'm just basically letting you know, no, there was nobody died in the ring. Nobody, no. Deontay Wilder went to the hospital afterwards. He had I don't know if it was a torn bicep or something. He had a bicep injury. Okay, that's why he went to the hospital as well. And that he's saying he has a dent in his head and all that. But I would just start to watch boxing. Now, as far as the story itself, if you're just intrigued by this story or you're trying to get the understanding of what actually happened, it's kind of redundant, because pretty much the only thing that to me makes sense is criminal charges. But you can't do that when you don't have proof. The only thing you can do is show a picture with a circle around it and talk about a bunch of hearsay, because he can't prove anything about an egg weight, and that story doesn't even make sense if you understood boxing. And look, I have a Kubotan on my key, right? Imagine me wrapping this in my hands against my goddamn knuckles. Even if I put a layer of gauze here, it's still. And let's say if I was able to get this into a glove, this right here, do you know what this would do to my hand? I'm going to have this metal wrapped into my damn knuckle. Do you know what this would do to my hand? I could easily break my hand. So all the accusations, that's all they are. There's no proof of anything. Okay, now let me get on to something else. And listen, I appreciate your question. I appreciate you being polite and taking the time to even explain why you wanted to know what it was. I'll get to you on another note. You know how to reach me otherwise as well. So we'll because I don't want to make this video too long. Because I have some things I want to say about Anthony Joshua. Okay, and which is something that someone else asked me, but I'm gonna put this out here. Everybody has their own personality and their own character. Okay, I was asked, like, what is so special about Anthony Joshua? Well, as far as special, that's your terminology. I never said anything about him or anybody being special, but what I do respect about AJ is the way he carries himself. Anthony Joshua won a fight. He won to unify. He won to be that champion. Anthony Joshua brings class to the sport. He carries himself like a gentleman. He doesn't shit talk about his opponent. He doesn't call someone's name out and then run from them. Okay? And he doesn't put his opponents down. Because there's massive tons of shit that Deontay Wilder was saying about Anthony Joshua. And even at times Tyson Fury would say things about Anthony Joshua. And when they fought, he referred to them as two warriors, two gladiators. And gave them props. Even though you got one of them who does nothing but shoot Anthony Joshua down. And I commend him for that because I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have commended Deontay on shit. The way, like, for somebody to talk shit about me, I'm not going to take away from what I know that you can do, but I'm not going to have anything nice to say about you. Plain and simple. Like, we know that he's a one-trick pony. And let's just say, for example, the fact that if, let's say, the fact, okay, so I lose to Andy Ruiz, and then a fighter starts talking shit, that same fighter has a fight, and regardless to how the fight went down, you know, I wouldn't be big up in this guy. I mean, I could say, hey, look, they did what they had to do, and it wasn't a great fight to me. It was just, it was very, they scored, the amount of punches landed was so low per round. But at the same time, Tyson Fury did what he had to do. Deontay was gifted a draw, in my opinion. Okay, and the first knockdown was a shot clearly behind the head, so I don't understand all the rabbit punching. Okay, and also remember, Tyson Fury got a point deducted. Okay, in that fight with Deontay Wilder. But again, Anthony Joshua took his loss like a man. He kept it moving. He doesn't shit on his opponents, and he basically comes to fight. And the thing is, you don't even hear a whole bunch about Anthony Joshua. He's training, man. You know, you have people come to the gym, watch his session, they'll ask questions and they do little interviews and all, but Anthony Joshua is training. He's not. Anthony Joshua is dedicated to this sport. He want to be undisputed. He's unified. He's two-time unified world champion. But you see, when you have people that they have this hatred inside them, Anthony Joshua is the kind of guy, he understands as well, shooting my opponent down is not going to make people want to watch the fight. And if you're going to stand there and talk like your opponent, is basically isn't shit, everybody you fight isn't shit, so you're the only good fighter in the division, then your fights are going to be unsuccessful in terms of people having any real attention to it. And Anthony Joshua, like I said, man, he just does things, a whole different animal with him. And you have people that criticize him, because I remember Anthony Joshua when he lost to Ruiz, and he was saying, like, his question is he good enough to be here? Does he belong here? Him saying at one point, I'll lose one day. People feel like that's a sign of weakness, that under pressure he's going to crumble because he doesn't have that toughness. This is what people were saying. Came back, he smoked Andy Ruiz out of his boots and got his title back with ease. Deontay is yet to do that. Okay, so when you look at the two, I only compare people based on what they do in the ring. This has nothing to do with outside the ring. But what I'm saying is Anthony Joshua himself, he carries himself as a gentleman inside and outside the ring. And he's respectful, and he doesn't have to be loud and brash and say a lot of stupid shit out of his mouth, talk about killing somebody's father, staring a kid in the face and all of that. And it's like, for the people who like, no, that's how we talk, man. Man, should we? No. Especially when you're grown. So basically, when I look at what Anthony Joshua has done, look, he's beaten Molina, who basically gave Deontay Wilder hell. He beat Molina, okay. Now I'm not naming Molina like he's a top opponent. I'm just saying, because, and I make that point because people are talking about how fast Deontay Wilder knocked out Dominic Breazeale, which he did, and it was caught him, boom, got him out of there. See, the thing is this: Deontay did what he had to do. What he did what he was supposed to. And he got him up out of there. Now, even if Dominic Brazil would have been the same, it doesn't matter. Knocking out Dominic Brazil doesn't mean you're going to beat Anthony Joshua. Okay? But Dominic Brazil clearly is a lot slower now than he was. He was never a great fighter. He was, at best, he was decent. He's very slow, and he's slower now. He's not even what he was when he fought AJ. Okay? AJ got the better version of him, no doubt. Most definitely. And regardless, Dominic Brazil was never on my radar anyway as one of the top fighters. Okay? But if you look at AJ's resume, okay? He's beaten Vladimir Klitschko. Now, yeah, Tyson Fury beat him, but they never got the rematch. So can we say Tyson Fury would have beat Vladimir Klitschko again? And no, we don't know that. We don't know what would have happened. Okay, so there's no need to go through all the speculation. But he beat him the first time they fought, and it was a boring ass fight. Fury did what he had to do, but it was nothing really going on. Okay? He moved enough, kept the distance, stayed behind the stick, and he did enough to just basically win the rounds, but it was nothing going on. Anthony Joshua and Klitschko had a great fight. Klitschko looked like a much better version of himself against AJ. Now, for people that says that just goes to show you how much better Fury is than AJ, you guys are lying to yourself. Basically, Klitschko came to fight. He was better prepared that night, and this Klitschko, he was letting his hands go. He came to fight, okay? We don't know what would have happened. But Tyson Fury has won the title but never defended the title. So this is where you got to look and think. Look at their resumes, okay? Anthony Joshua beat Klitschko in a great fight. Got knocked down himself, got up like a champion, came back and fought, okay? He beat Charles Martin, who was holding the title at the time. Now, Charles Martin isn't the best fighter in the world. We know that. But at the same time, regardless, he still was the champion. And AJ knocked him out and took his belt. Okay? He unified. Something that Deontay Wilder should have did years ago. And he never unified. Okay? He beat Joseph Parker, who's another respected, solid champion. Okay? He's beaten Dillian White. And pretty much, he offered King Kong Ortiz. Ortiz turned it down and fought Wilder. He offered King Kong Ortiz twice. He's beaten Povetkin. Okay? Anthony Joshua is a class act. Anthony Joshua comes to fight. He's respectful of his opponents. He doesn't need all this extra nonsense. And that's the things I like about Anthony Joshua. And he can fight. It's not about finding flaws in a fighter. That's not what I'm looking for. That's not what I do. Let me see what he does wrong. No, you analyze things, but why we point things out about Wilder is because Wilder is just terrible. Wilder clearly gets outboxed by lesser fighters. And then he ends up knocking them out, which is what matters, that he wins. All we've ever been saying was, if Deontay Wilder has some skills to go with that right hand, I would definitely like his fights more then, because pretty much it's just one-sided, nothing's really going on. And he's fighting lower tier fighters. So now that he's stepped up in class, King Kong Ortiz was the first decent fighter he fought. Fury was the first good fighter. Okay, so that's what we've been saying all along. And the reason, I'm not impressed by his skill set. But nobody was sitting here going, oh, we hate Deontay Wilder. Oh, Deontay Wilder's a bitch. He's this and this and that. No, it's just the dude can't box for shit. His skills is shit. And he's been able to do what he did with that limited ability because of the level of opposition he was fighting. Okay? There's so many things that we can look at. There's so many things that we can point out about, what we see in different fighters. But it was never about trying to find, people try to make it sound like we give every other fighter props, but all we do with Wilder is try to find fault. No, we already know what his faults are. He can't fucking box. Simple. I can break down, I've done it already, what he does wrong, what he doesn't know how to do. That's not what this video is about, though. But in explaining, like, no, he doesn't respect boxing. He thinks that his power alone in his right hand is enough, and this is why he won't improve as a fighter. And if he wouldn't improve with Mark Breland, who's going to have him to improve? Look, Deontay Wilder wants to fight his way. He want to do things his way. Deontay Wilder it doesn't matter who trains him. If you're not going to listen, if I was his trainer, me and him wouldn't get along. And I'd have told him, you know what, fuck you and your bullshit right hand. Fuck you in this camp. Because you're going to bring me in here, you don't trust my judgment. I'm here to give you what you need. We're here to fix what's broken. But if you want to just lead the charge and do shit your way, then train your fucking self. Plain and fucking simple. Because I'm not here to be your puppet or your flunky. And if I was in his corner watching him get his ass kicked, yeah, I would have told him, Deontay, I'm going to throw this fucking towel in, man. You gotta step it up, bro. You got to. You taking too much punishment. You know, and the thing is, even in the corner, you don't hear Deontay Wilder saying something is wrong, man. I can't, maybe my legs are weak, or, you know, so he's not saying any of this stuff. So all of a sudden, Deontay was poisoned. He's trying to figure out what's going on, but not one time did you hear him say that in the corner. And like I said in my last video, you definitely heard AJ asking, why do I feel like this? And regardless, AJ took his lumps. He made no excuses. He came back. He won his title back. So now he's a two-time unified champion. Yet AJ's moved on. Okay? You didn't see a bunch of AJ fans carrying this whole, nah, something was wrong. We all said something was wrong. Even LDBC members were saying something definitely didn't look right with AJ. But yet they didn't make excuses as to why he lost. They basically pretty much they pretty much sat back and was happy that he lost. But when he won his title back, they tried to shit on his win. Oh man, he just ran. He didn't come to fight. Anthony Joshua is the guy I want to see clean up the whole heavyweight division. And I talk about Anthony Joshua less than any other heavyweight. And that's facts. You can go to my whole library of videos, and I barely ever talk about AJ. The only reason why we're still talking about Deontay Wilder because people keep making up stupid videos. And if you look at every title, it's always something about more lies being told on Deontay. Such and such is buck dancing. Such and such is doing this and this. Such and such turned their back on Deontay. So everything is Deontay's a victim. Deontay's a big baby. We have to baby him. We have to sugarcoat him. We have to be careful of what we say because he's sensitive. His fans are sensitive. No, I don't give a shit about him being sensitive or his fans. At the end of the day, we have the freedom of motherfucking speech. And I'm going to say what the fuck I'm going to say. Like I said, I'll tell anybody what I got to say to their fucking face. I don't say nothing because, like, oh, I'm on a camp. No. I don't take videos like this, okay? No, you see my face. And basically, I'm all man. So, you know, we pretty much are not a part of the Kiss My Ass Club. So, yeah, you know what? No matter what you say, like, even if I sit here, you can put up a video like the one we did where we're basically showing you JD's in the corner. And I said, watch the fight. In fact, I went and watched the fight even after I did the video as well. And I sat there because one of the family members brought some stuff to my attention, which I was aware of it. But what I was saying was, you don't even have to watch the whole fight. All you have to do is just watch. And the reason why I specified watch the beginning of the fight is because the water that's put into your mouth then wasn't put in there by Mark Breland. And of course they would try to say, oh, well, he spiked it before they got out. Right. Yeah, all of these allegations, but no proof. Just, I believe, I think. I got a funny story for y'all, family. Okay? And I'm going to show you how people, I'm just shooting this shit with y'all right now, man. And I'm going to tell you how things work. Now, I'm at work. Somebody saw me from a distance, and I had this on my head. Okay? The person's, and this chick see me and go, oh my God, you were so sexy with that ponytail. Oh my God. I looked at her. And she's like, you. I'm like, what did you just say? She said it again. I had this like this, but as I was walking towards her, I put my hood on because it was a little chilly in the building. So basically, she thought this was a fucking ponytail. Somebody else asked, and I'm like, ponytail? And Oh my God, I thought that was your hair. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Right. One guy walks up to me. He's like, "Yo, bro, where'd you get that T-shirt from?" I said, "What T-shirt?" He said, "The one that you wearing on your head." He's like, "Yo, I always wanted one of those." I'm like, "Bro, let me ask you a question." He said, "We two grown ass men, right?" Yeah, it's okay. So let me ask you a question. Why in the fuck would I be wearing a T-shirt on my fucking head? No, go ahead, answer. Why in the fuck would I be wearing a T-shirt on my head? And he goes, "Oh, I thought that was a T-shirt." Right. You thought. And you came and you asked me, where did I get a T-shirt? Instead of asking me, is that like, what is that? Is that a head? Y'all know what this is right here? It's a mask. It's about this long. I slide it on and I can pull it up. But it's multi-purpose. You can wear it this way. I can pull it down. I can pull it where I have it up here like a ninja mask. There's several ways I can wear this. This is the way I like to wear it. Simple. Okay? That's all. So one person saw me and thought it was a ponytail. Another person thought it was a T-shirt. Without clarification, they both would think that they were right. So it took them to talk to me to clarify that no, they both were wrong. So whenever, I didn't have to say anything as far as the female, because when she saw it, she realized, I thought that was your hair. Oh, okay. The guy thought it was a T-shirt. What T-shirt do you know only has one sleeve? Wouldn't this be that? You understand what I'm saying? Where's the arm part? Where your arms, right? But he thought it was a T-shirt. Now, I know there's guys that do that dumb shit, but I'm not one of them. I'm a grown-ass man. The fuck I look like walking around with a T-shirt wrapped around my head. Okay, anyway. My point is, my allergies is kicking my ass right now, y'all. The point is this. When you speak and you bring clarity to the situation, nobody have to ask you anymore. Okay? When you sit back and you know that allegations are being made, and all you do is think of how can I piggyback off these allegations and add to it, and it's disrespectful to yourself. It's disgraceful. I watched Muhammad Ali, and out of all the shit Muhammad Ali talked, Muhammad Ali was the biggest shit talker in the history of boxing. One thing I never heard Muhammad Ali do though was make excuses for why he lost the fight. This man fought a fight with a broke jaw. You know, people, oh man, he fought with a broke jaw. Well, he got hit with a fucking punch. He should have kept his mouth closed. Simple. No excuse. You got beat. Ali made no excuses. Ray Leonard made no excuses. You know, there's certain fighters who it's like they have a certain level of class. Ali, yeah, he talked a lot of shit. He taunted his opponents. He tried to get in their heads and all that. That's what he did. He could also back it up, and he did back it up. And at the same time, what I'm saying, when Ali lost, I shall return, and Ali was never ever making excuses about why he lost a fight. Even when he came back and beat Quarry, we thought it was too soon for him to jump in the ring with Frazier because he was just coming back. But Muhammad Ali never made excuses. He never made excuses. There's certain fighters that understand, as a warrior, there's a certain code you live by. My thing is, if you even saw the last interview with Deontay Wilder, look at how comfortable he looked sitting there, making excuses up. I'm so great in this sport that, they had to cheat me to beat. You know what I'm saying? And this is only going to add to my legacy, make my legacy even stronger. Wait, so, like I said in the last video, so getting your ass kicked and then making excuses thinking you're pulling Jedi mind tricks on us, that's going to make your legacy stronger. How about getting in the ring and whooping some ass and then whooping Fury's ass? How about that? How about that making your legacy stronger? I mean, I'm sitting there listening to him talk, and he's sitting up there like he's fucking Nature Boy Ric Flair. You know how a professional wrestler, like I always say, professional wrestling is the only sport, entertainment, okay? Sports entertainment, only sport that I know of that you can get your ass completely kicked in a fight, and then you come out the next day on TV bragging about how you won even though you got your ass kicked. That's the only, and it's meant. Look, it's so funny because I'm sitting there and I'm watching this video, and Brian Custer is talking to him, and I'm hearing these people like Brian Custer is asking him all the questions that he should have asked him. See, on every other platform, whether it was 7-8 Sports, whether it was what's the other guy, Blue Blood, those platforms were not there. Okay, their platforms wasn't offered for Deontay, so he can come on in and they can ask him questions to basically put him in a position where he just have to explain, hey, you made these accusations. Now, what proof of this? What proof do you have? No, you knew before he came on it that wasn't going to happen. Okay, he basically, this is what happened. He came on the show, and they basically gave him the platform to say, okay, champ, you're going to sit here and talk, and we're going to 100% support you and back you up on your claims, and pretty much that's the way that's going to go. We're not here to try to, get to the bottom of the truth. We want your truth. That's what that was. Brian Custer is not in his back pocket. He asked him questions and basically challenged the logic of the things that he already said. Okay? The claims that he made, the accusations. Deontay Wilder completely danced around all that shit. Sitting there all arrogant, looking around, and like he's on top of the world, just sitting there. And I'm like, he's okay, he's at peace. Hey, okay, good. But at the same time, bro, you're delusional as fuck. And you're pretty much sitting there avoiding answering the questions by being arrogant and just trying to cut it off and go a different direction with your answer. Brian Custer is not going to sit there and argue with you. That's not what it was about. Okay? Now, let's rewind something because I want to bring something. I want to make a point. You guys remember a couple of months ago, there's another guy, like I said, I don't like mentioning other channels. Counterpunch Boxing is a good channel. Kurt DeVille, he does his thing. Y'all remember when he interviewed Tay Jones and I said the only thing that's going to come out of this interview is going to be more accusations, right? Now, what Kurt saw or heard that made, maybe that he felt like, okay, we learned something new. That's his opinion and his take on things. Okay, that's cool. But there was nothing that came out of that interview to me that was significant. And even if we thought that Tay Jones said something that we didn't hear before, didn't Deontay Wilder just shoot all that shit down when he came out with an interview before the last one and say, I haven't even been training to tell you the truth? And then this follow-up. So now think about everything that Tay Jones said. Does any of that shit add up? If you listen to what he said, then listen to what Deontay followed that shit up with, and then listen to what Deontay just did with Brian Custer. Think about it. This man is claiming he's in shape. Now, me and Deontay Wilder are obviously two different people. But me looking at the situation for what it is, if I felt like, if me and Fury, first off, I wouldn't let that contract expire. Because I'd have to dig all up in his ass. No, Fury, I'm going to beat your ass. But if I felt like what all the things that Deontay is saying, if I felt that this man cheated me, everything would have been handled completely different. And it wouldn't have took no fucking boxing channels to bring this shit to my attention. Okay, and let me just let y'all know something. I had a fist fight with a motherfucker. He had tactical gloves on. Do y'all know what that is? That's the gloves that got that hard plastic with some type of metal in the. That's where you can actually punch bark off trees. And I beat the shit out this guy. We had this wasn't no boxing. We was getting it in and beat the fuck out this dude. You want to know what was funny? I had my bare knuckles. He had on tactical fucking gloves. And he still got his ass whooped. But after the fact that we found out what happened, after that fade, people that was there beat the shit out of that guy. Because they're like, hold up. They thought about the pot, like what he was trying to do. Because what happened was it wasn't exactly dark yet, but it was like, the point is, because I have gloves. Sometime before you because you don't want to hit nobody in the mouth, and you know a lot of times you can peel your skin and then there's saliva getting you. So yeah, we do that. We'll put gloves on it, for that reason. But he had tactical gloves, which means the knuckle is designed to do damage. You can actually, they have commercials about that shit. You can pull it up on YouTube. They punch tree bark. All right, you can hit, boom, put dents in wood, and he still got his ass whooped. Oh, the dude can fight. Not like he can't fight. But like I said, I'm not an ordinary dude. And he got his ass whooped. But the reason that they whooped his ass, like I said, because it was like, this motherfucker was trying to kill Aries. Aries got his hands, no, he gonna man up. And he's right, and this dude actually had tactical gloves on. We wasn't aware of that. Now, check this out. I said to one of my homies after that shit, I think this motherfucker got brass knuckles in his gloves. Because he threw a shot, and I caught that shit real quick, boom. But when it hit me, it felt thudding. Like it was, you understand what I'm saying? Had on tactical gloves. That wasn't even to the face. That was to, I caught it, boom. Boom, boom, follow, okay? Guess what? That fight lasted probably, overall, probably a minute and some seconds. The first shot that I caught, I felt it like it was, and I'm like, I'm not worried about his power. I got power too, and I know when I catch him, it's lights out. The second shot is when I, and I'm like, yeah, I thought he had brass knuckles under his shit. You understand what I'm saying? But it turns out, now, what is my point? I could feel the difference. Something, you're not going to tell me you get punched in your fucking jaw and you can't tell the difference. So all of this shit that we've been talking about, and everybody's making examples, and I do it myself. But like I said, overall, all we gotta do is look at the fight, the information that we have. And like I said, now let's start looking at these videos, the fight itself. Let's start round by round. Let's start dissecting who did what in the corner. Because see, I already know that as a man, you don't need anybody to talk for you. Sometimes you gotta tell your wife that. But my husband, hey, I got this. Thank you, but I got this. I got this. You don't need anybody to talk for you. And this man is sitting there like a big baby. He's sitting up here talking. And when you talk about, I gotta cut the grass and weed out all the snakes, and I got this and this and this and this, and well, you know what? Here's the thing. If Deontay Wilder, obviously he's keeping JD's or whoever else is on his team, whoever he brings in as a head trainer, I really don't give a shit who it is. Like I said, if you're not willing to learn and listen, then you know what's going to end up happening? You're not going to change as a fighter. You won't get better as a fighter. And you're pretty much going to, you're going to have an uphill battle. One thing that champions got to always understand, the opponents are watching you. And because of people seeing what Fury did, believe me, everybody knows there's no secret that Deontay Wilder can't fight going backwards. The problem with Deontay is he thinks because he has power that I'm just going to catch a motherfucker. It doesn't make a difference. Like people talking about he's stupid for turning down Floyd Mayweather. His ego will not allow him to feel like somebody's teaching him something, that somebody is better than him. Somebody's good enough to show him anything. Deontay wants yes men in his corner. He wants people to do things as he say. Basically, he wants to do things his way. Deontay Wilder cannot box. He can't do simple things. What he has and what he's been able to do, there's this saying, what have you done for me lately? The past is the past. Okay? Every fighter that used to whoop some ass and got to the point where they're not doing things the same way, hey, yeah, we applaud what you did in the past, but now, and when you step up in competition, look, when you step up in levels of competition, people got to understand, like I keep hearing people saying, oh, Fury's the only one that could beat him. Okay? It's yet to be seen. And like I said, I can say, to me, AJ knocks him out. To me, AJ knocks him out. And we'll see. Dillian White can knock him out. But Dillian White, the way he liked to put himself in harm's way, the thing is, if Dillian White put that pressure on him and don't stand there and get lazy and posture and square up like Ortiz did, he could knock him out too. Because I believe Dillian White is better than Luis Ortiz. Okay? But Dillian White, if he catch Wilder, he can knock him out as well. But stylistically, that's why I'm saying the way the way Dillian White puts himself in harm's way a lot of times. But listen, Dillian White can crack, man. He could knock Wilder out. And I believe strongly if Dillian White cracks him and hurts him, he's going to finish him. We'll see, though. And truthfully, Daniel Dubois, I'm telling you, you guys know Daniel Dubois, man. If that guy stays focused and hungry, he's the next big thing as far as I'm concerned. F.A. Ajamba, I'm not sure about. It's not because F.A. Ajamba, like what I see with him, he is a guy. He's slow. He has heavy hands. He's slow. He's there to be hit, and he basically gets lazy in fights. And every time I watch him fight, it's not like he has a crazy skill set. He just basically, anytime he fights anybody that's a step up in competition, you see he struggles. So I have to see more of him. Daniel Dubois by far is more advanced than F.A. Ajamba. So not hating on anybody, I have no reason to do that shit. But if you think F.A. Ajamba has a shot, but then you question Daniel Dubois, I don't understand that. Now, if you like what you see more in F.A. Ajamba, so be it. But I'm picking Daniel Dubois to be the next big thing in boxing, in heavyweight boxing, man. We'll see. We'll see. But I like what I see in him. And, my point is, as you start fighting better fighters, though, the guy that you think is going to be the one to win, it's the fighter that you completely overlook. Might be the one to knock that ass out. And people go, oh, shit. Like, where'd that come from? But Deontay Wilder, I don't understand how somebody can come into a sport and be so egotistical and think that they can, like they can just beat anybody just because, if you have an arsenal, right? You know what I learned as a fighter? What I learned, I'm a southpaw. But I'm ambidextrous. I can fight with either way, naturally. I can draw with either hand. I can shoot a basketball with my left hand. I can throw a football with my left hand and right. So, but what I was always taught was learn how to fight both styles. So you can be equally as comfortable whether you fight in orthodox or southpaw. You see a lot of fighters switch, but they'll switch back and it's like momentarily. Then you see certain fighters who can switch and stay in that stance so they're comfortable. And basically, never get comfortable to the point where what you've learned, you just feel like, I don't need to add anything. No, you always want to add something. You always have to be to a point where you just keep adding gears, because when you do things to the point where people start to figure you out, that's why when people say it's not good to fight your sparring partner because they know you. Yeah. If you only have a couple of gears that they're used to. But you always add to your arsenal. That's the whole point of what I'm saying. I don't give a fuck sparring partner or not. I fight any fucking body. Give a fuck if you my sparring partner. See, there's a saying too, because I trained a lot of guys. And I told a motherfucker one day, he laughed at all, hell yeah. He said, I don't know, Aries, you taught me anything I know. And like I told him, I said, yeah, you're right. I taught you everything that you know. But I didn't teach you everything that I know. He got the message. It's what I'm saying. It's things that you do, even when you're not in the gym around your training, stuff that just shit that you know, things that you add, that you got to be versatile, man. How, just say for example, you watch a guy like Michael Jordan play basketball, and you realize that Michael Jordan is doing things out of the spirit of the moment, and then you got other guys who watch Michael Jordan do a move, and then whether it's Stephen Curry, LeBron James, Kobe, all that shit, right? They watch the NBA players do it, then they go out. They can't wait till they go to the basketball parks just so they can imitate that move. But they're doing it spirit of the moment. It's not, and don't think that they don't practice, going from left to right and, doing certain shit. But like, no, you don't know how the defense is going to defend, what position this guy's going to be standing in and all that. It's honing your skills, man. You don't come in there and just you don't get complacent with what you know. And that's the whole thing. And that's one of the things I respect about AJ, man. Every time I see a video now, AJ's always training. He's always in the gym. AJ, he'll take a break to, give a quick interview, but AJ's not getting caught up in nonsense. AJ's not focused on all this fairy tale shit. He's there preparing to fight Pulev. And when you look at what's going on right now, I can tell you this. With all this drama shit and the way, Wilder is talking, Wilder can get upset easy in his next fight. Because he's an emotional dude. And all this energy he's putting into this negative shit. And I don't know what his weight is right now, but again, I'm looking at him in that car. He looks skinny as fuck in that car. I don't know what it is with this dude, man. I know he's 6'7", he's lanky. But if he is training, and I don't know if because he's getting older, I don't know what, but he's frail as fuck, man. I'm looking at him like, damn, man. Bro, listen. When you put so much energy, Fury's one fighter, man. Fury's only one guy. You put so much energy into this whole emotional, this guy cheated me, and he did this and he did that, and you just won't let go of this shit. You can very easily go into the ring with another opponent, and shit is just not clicking for you the way that you needed to. Y'all think if AJ would have lost to Ruiz and he would have took that route about, man, something was wrong, I was concussed, well this, or just making excuses, and even look, and he could have been legitimately, like, we know what Joey DeWaco said, because Serafina said it. But, and this video was much longer than I wanted it to be, but you know what, fuck it is what it is, man. Listen, AJ would have had an uphill battle too. Even with him being concussed. He don't have to talk about it to us. He can say to himself, you know what, I know I can do better. I didn't want this loss on my record, but it's there. Fuck it. You know what? I'm going to focus on getting my belts back. Simple. And we're not going to talk about this shit. We're not going to dwell on it. Because it takes your focus away from what you should be doing. So what I'm saying, it doesn't have to be Tyson Fury that beats Deontay Wilder again. It could be anybody else. And because he's saying he's fighting January or February, let's not be fucking stupid. I don't see him fighting any real credible opponents. And like I said, the best I can see him maybe, possibly, is if he can get like Oscar Rivas. He might get maybe somebody like Charles Martin, maybe Adam Kalnakis. I don't see him fighting no fucking Andy Ruiz. It's too short of a notice, man, to just say, well, somewhere around January or February. Plus, we don't even know what kind of shape Andy Ruiz is in. Once in a while you might see something with Andy Ruiz, but we don't, I don't know. But for me, I'm thinking it's going to be some meatball. Okay, long story short, y'all, this whole video, I wanted to address something that somebody asked me. I wanted to just make it known what was going on. And you know what? Again, I like the way the channel is going. I get a lot of love from people from the UK, man. The UK is awesome. I can't wait to go out there. This whole pandemic shit has really fucked everything up, man. That's one place that I got on my radar. I always wanted to go to the UK. I do have people that's out there scattered around, and I always wanted to go out there, and eventually I will. Hopefully this pandemic shit gotta end though. But like I said, I got from everywhere, man. I mean, I got people from Croatia on the channel, from New Zealand. How awesome is that? People from everywhere, man. I love that shit, man. I love it. And, I don't mind cutting these videos because I love what we're building. But at the same time, it's like, we address certain things, and the person, like I said, it was very respectful. And I had no problem with just, explaining, kind of what was going on. But I don't want to dwell on that because we already know what it is. But it's better to just, if you're a fan of boxing and you love boxing, just get into what's going on. Focus more on the sport of what's going on, the fights coming up, more so than that soap opera shit. But basically, that's all it is, and all this stuff about AJ ducking and all, we know people are going to make these things up. They're going to say all this nonsense, but at the end of the day, every fighter should be focused on what the task is at hand. So when you see him say things like, I'm moving on from this coward Tyson Fury, well, you the same guy that said y'all the two best fighters, best in the heavyweight division, and that, when the two best want to fight, it's easy to make fights. But then look at how you assassinate this man's character, right? And like I said, if the glove was very little, thinly padded or whatever, your guy's set right there. And the fact that you let them get a free pass. So every time I hear some dumb shit that makes me feel like, you know what, I'm gonna speak on that. So be it. So be it. But like I said, boxing is what I really want to focus on more than anything else. And that's where Deontay Wilder's mind should be. That's where any fighter's mind should be. But for him to keep coming out, he want to be the fucking president of the pity committee. That's what he's done. He's made himself the president of the pity committee. I'm a victim here. Everybody feels sorry for me. Understand, I was cheated. They can't beat me. There's no way I lost fair and square. He did this and he did that. We got all kinds of proof and evidence, and he keep talking, but won't show the proof and evidence. And his minions say the proof is, look at the picture. Explain that glove. No, fuck you. Explain why JD's approved that glove. How about that? They shut right the fuck up when you say that. And they resort, yeah, well, but no, yeah, but my ass. How about why did JD's approve that fucking glove? It's as simple as that. So look, family, never fall in love with lies. And remember, the truth brings hate out of people. I will catch y'all on the next video.